through the second half completely.
What the heck, Joel? So my leg got later. So then I was like, I know I should but then I was like, but I'm not going to just hang it like a snack. So I started this while I was working, and I was like, I'm not going to stay with it. That's the worst thing about it. Yeah.
Which one? The new neighbor? The guy to your west? Yeah, that's it. No, his name's he's
Oh, yeah.
We can stand and do the pledge.
no, he's got more problems than
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, which is the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, call the meeting to order. It is 6:30. Roll call, please.
Palmer.
Here.
Lower.
Here.
Munson.
Here.
Nelson. Here. Smock.
Here.
Frick.
Here.
Yates.
Here.
All right. 7. Public comment. We didn't have anybody sign up. It doesn't look like there's much public here. We'll move on to board comments. Any board comments? All right. No school organization this month. That next one. Correspondence, there was a thank you going around.
Johannes.
Steve Johannes, that's right.
Of Johannes Bus Service.
All right, moving on to number 6, approval of the consent agenda. Did anyone have anything they wanted to pull out of there? Or any questions about anything? None. I'd entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll move to approve the consent agenda.
Munson, is there a second? Palmer seconds. Any discussion? All right, roll call, please.
Lower.
Yes.
Munson.
Yes.
Nelson. Smock.
Yes.
Frick.
Yes.
Yates.
Yes.
Palmer.
Yes.
Motion carries. 7-0. Committee reports. We had a transportation, did the transportation committee report get in there?
They're in the back.
Oh, you know what, I always forget they're in the other place.
There's a link on the agenda.
Do you want a summary? Process that.
Yeah, we did learn some things that I wasn't aware of as far as like, some of our new buses are struggling with being operable. And I know they've been struggling getting those to Davenport to be repaired. Talked about the need for new radios. They're gonna look into getting us some information on that. Talked about, it'll be on the agenda for next month, but a system that we can put in each bus that will tell us, well, one, it's a GPS tracking, but it also gives us maintenance information about the vehicle, tell you the temperature, speeds, things like that. So we're gonna make that a discussion item for next month. So, overall, pretty good meeting. They talked about some bus route changes for next year.
They got rid of the route that Julie spent 12 years trying to get.
Yeah.
Went that out.
Yeah. They talked about reducing the number of stops in some of the towns, because evidently, I guess we technically only supposed to have 2 stops in Keysburg, but we make 6, so that would maybe speed up the process a little bit. finance committee meeting. Nothing too drastic. Insurance changes. They're meeting with the teachers, having a group to go over the health insurance changes, trying to figure out ways that we can bring those costs down. And then we will talk, that's next month, but we'll talk about the $16 in a different way. So we talked about trying to move some of our salaries to another fund that is allowable by the state for mental health professionals, and paying them out of Fund 60, the sales tax money, instead of right now we probably pay them out of the ed fund, so it might take some pressure off that ed fund for us. Anybody have any questions about the finance committee report? And then building and grounds, we didn't have a report. Does anyone want to?
Lori, you wanna refresh that?
Sure, no problem. Okay, so somewhere in this building and grounds meeting, we decided we didn't have a secretary, so Donnie thought I could do that, and so I'm like, I got you.
Finally gotta do something useful with my position.
And I wrote that, right before I came here, so. So basically, I will give this to you, Leanne, and then I have it typed up. So going down through there, there really wasn't anybody there, I'd say, for public comment, but Tammy Parchert was there, and she talked extensively about the turf in New Boston and the sand, and how it wasn't really going up the sidewalk where they wanted, and she understood that far more than I did. And Doug was also there, and so there was a certain amount of funding that was donated by an anonymous donor to help pay for whatever they have left down there. And then
About 50-something thousand left.
Yeah, and 18,000 was gonna come from the PTO. They had those funds ready to go. And then the balance or whatever was close to 100,000, I think, and they had an anonymous donor to give that. So I guess I'm to the pre-K. Okay, I skipped over that. So they talked about the playground, that they'd need big equipment, small equipment, and once again, Tammy understood that way more than I did. And we referenced the admin for the pre-K, that you know what you need. And so they talked about the update for the building project at New Boston. Doug said there's lots of punch list items not complete down there. I believe that's true, and they talked about possibly completing them this summer. Don't know where they're at with that. And then classroom placements, they talked about class sizes, where to put life skills, where the pre-K classes would be located, and a lot of other things. It was educational level above what I would understand. Do you want to elaborate on that?
Well, I think in our discussion that we haven't made that official yet, but that the life skills program for the elementary students would best be placed at Apollo to allow those students to interact easily with the middle school, junior high life skills program here because of the age restrictions on the students that can be in that classroom. And we already have some students now that come from New Boston, older students, to the life skills program here at the junior high, but they don't get to spend any time with their grade level peers. They might be an older 4th or 5th grader, and so they're pushed into the middle school program due to their age because they're too much older than the younger students in there. And that's one of the things that we want to be able to avoid, and that way they can spend time with their grade level peers at Apollo and come over to this life skills program for part of the day. And we also looked at, there's some spacing concerns there. When I talked with Mr. Robinson a week or so ago, he thought he could make it work. He said it's going to be tight, but we can do it. I mean, we have the classrooms available. His biggest concern was gym time with those extra students in the building and how that might impact the scheduling for the other classes.
So then they also discussed a 10-year health life safety study that would happen probably with the high school. And I think a lot of the discussion lands too on having a superintendent this summer that can actually put things in place for moving forward with those projects. We talked about the school maintenance grant, that there was a low bid awarded to RAL Dean at $96,982 for the roof construction. And then they talked about, that's at New Boston. And then we talked about the Joy Building and what would happen if they're moving the offices from the district office where it now is to the other side, and the date of the boiler system and possibly having to upgrade that, and the need for that to be able to use that gym. And that's about it.
All right. Thank you. Wellness committee meeting. We talked about, we were updating the wellness plan that we had approved in 2022. It's supposed to be approved every 3 years, right?
Yep.
Yes, we were just a year behind or so. And we just, a lot of it was clerical or just striking words, like we had a newsletter that said monthly, and we don't really produce that newsletter monthly anymore. So basically just bringing it up to speed. We did talk about a form that was approved last time, but we don't think has ever really been implemented. And it has to do with, like, if you're doing a event for the kids, and it's ice cream. You're doing ice cream, well, you gotta have something for those kids that may be lactose intolerant or something. So, and that form is supposed to help us, like, come up with those ideas and keep track of them and things like that. So, and also keep us in compliance, right? So, then we talked about the kitchen at Apollo and some of the upgrades that need to be made there, and how we're gonna do the back and forth to New Boston next year was discussed as well. So that was pretty much it.
And I did hear from Kyle Lloyd at the health department, who was unable to attend, and she concurred with what we heard from Angie, that she didn't foresee any problems with an extra 10 minutes of transportation as long as our food was at temp when it left the building. But she did want to make sure that we were going to replace that residential stove with a commercial unit that's currently at Apollo.
All right, anybody have any questions on the committee reports? If not, move on to item number 8.1 FOIA request. We had 3. One was from a person asking for all the law firms that we do business with and how much we pay them from our attorney. It sounds like this guy sent them out to a lot of the school districts within the state. Another one was for, it was a strange one. It asked if we had any communication about a specific person, and I'd never heard of the guy. I Googled him, and he's up in the Chicagoland area, and what is his name? Steve Lesko or something like that. So, but we didn't have any communication with him, so we were able to respond that way. And then we had another one from another attorney looking for additional information. So, any questions about the FOIAs? If not, move on to action items. 9.1.
All right, this first item deals with our CTE programs, our career technical education, where we're supposed to provide a career path. And we have done that in the past, but we've run into some staffing issues within our CTE staff in the last 2 years. We previously had a career pathway in horticulture. looked at career pathways in welding, but those aren't available to us right now because of our staffing issues within our career and technical education program. And that combines all of the things that go on out in the vocational building at the high school, as well as our business and some of our food science courses that are offered within the high school building.
What's our remedy for that?
We're working on that for next year, but until we have that in place, and it really comes down to some staffing issues of people that can provide those kinds of experiences in the classroom, we have to have this waiver, and the board asked for this waiver from ISB a year ago, and we have to do that again this year, related to a different staffing issue.
So our action is to opt out of the career pathway for
Yes.
26, 27.
But that's fairly important, do you agree?
Yes.
We are opting out while also trying to maintain the same time as 1%.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that we don't just opt out of that.
Can I? Yeah, I don't think it's any of our intent to like not ever opt back in. It's just at this time we have a lot of unanswered questions with
I
some of
understand.
our staff and we're at a point in time where we have to give them an answer. And so we want to err on the side of safety,
Yep.
safe side at this point in time.
We just can't give up on that.
No, definitely not, and I don't think that's anyone's intent. Truly, that's not how we talk about it. We don't want to opt out, but we also don't want to be saying we're doing something
Yeah,
and
we're
we
not.
can't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep, absolutely. Yep, no, that's perfect. I would entertain a motion to opt out of the 26, 27 ISB college and career pathway coursework.
So moved.
Palmer, is there a second?
I'll second.
Munson, second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 7-0. 9.2 is adopt the new extremely wordy public comment. We reviewed it last month, and nothing's changed from last
No,
month.
nothing's changed from last
I didn't
month.
compare them. I don't know if it was the same.
That's what happens sometimes when you ask attorneys questions.
Yeah.
You get a lengthy answer.
So it most likely will not be read every time.
Yeah.
Can we require the
We have to
person
read
that's
it.
doing the public comment read that to us?
And essentially what it does is it removes the prohibition that we had on public comments directed at personnel or students. That you can't prohibit that's a First Amendment right for public commenters and
I
speakers.
don't understand how you can attack a minor. Like if they're saying something about a minor in a good way, but if they're standing up there attacking a minor, that would be, I don't understand how that's.
I think that reflects on the person.
Well, it
that's-
does, but it doesn't stop that kid if they're in the, they're in the,
No.
the kid's gotta deal with that. I know it, I don't get to change that. So, anybody have any questions about the revisions? If not, I'd enter a motion, or accept a motion to approve as presented.
So moved.
That's Frick. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Munson? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? 6-1. 6-1, and let the record state it was Gates.
That's right. Make sure you put that. It's crazy.
All right. 9.3, cardiac emergency response update.
Yeah, this is the plan and policy that we have in place so that staff in our buildings know how to respond to a cardiac event. And that includes knowing where the AEDs in the district are located, CPR training for staff, and what our policies are and procedures about how to go about that if someone has a cardiac incident within one of our buildings or on our property somewhere. Because we do have AEDs that are close enough to our athletic fields that they're easily response time.
Anybody have any questions about the cardiac emergency response update?
Who's the lucky cert coordinators in the building? Who is that?
Typically, the principal or the nurse.
Principal and stuff.
How many AEDs do we have in the district?
I'm not sure I can answer that question right now.
Would you say we have a sufficient amount? I guess this-
We have at least one at every facility.
And we have a couple traveling ones for sporting events, for like with softball out here and the track that the nurses have coordinated. There's probably 3 or 4 extra traveling AEDs in the district as well.
How do those work? I mean, do they have some sort of something on them that you look at and it says good, or, I mean, I don't even know. I've never been around.
The nurses-
It verbally tells you what to do, yeah.
But I mean, can you walk by and say, oh, it's charged, or it's whatever, does it have some sort of a check? Does it alert you of something, like if it's not going to work?
Every 6 months, there's
Yeah.
a check. The nurse in that building goes around, checks. I believe Mr. Murray.
You know, like a fire extinguisher, you look at it, it's on green, you're good to go. It's probably makes sense.
Verify
Yeah.
it up to the.
And they have to be
Like that on the
recertified.
I
Every
just
so
never
often,
been
just like
around.
the fire extinguishers have to be recertified.
Yeah, I just never been around them. I was assuming there was, I just never seen one.
Otherwise, they do beep when the battery is dead, so you are aware.
I'm gonna bring one to the next meeting. Or somebody
Put it on
you.
you.
Yeah. That's my opinion. I kinda like to know a little more about them.
We got one of the portables in this building, Tim.
Not if you enjoy it.
Would you bring that next month then? Sure.
You can be our school station.
I'll try not to have an event that you have to actually use it.
We're trained.
But I would like to know a little more about it.
Do we have a motion in a second, or, okay. I'll-
John, you're getting old school.
I'll
You're
entertain a
like talking
motion
mouth to mouth.
to
I
approve
move to approve the cardiac emergency response.
Munson.
Second.
All right, is that Lower? All right, Lower second?
Attaboy.
I just heard it come from that way. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries 7-0. Management of medical dietary needs.
This is a plan that Mr. Boucher worked on with some consulting with ISB and our nursing staff and our food service staff. And really what this does is it describes how our food service staff and nursing staff work together to accommodate any medically necessary dietary needs for students within our district. And they have a number of individual responsibilities as well as shared responsibilities relating to make sure that we serve safe meals and snacks to those kids.
Everybody's on board with it?
No, they have had a number of meetings about this.
Okay. I would entertain a motion to approve the management of medical dietary needs.
I'll make that motion.
Munson?
I'll say,
Oh, Ballmer got in. Ballmer,
that's fine. I don't want to neighbors. That one's tough.
any discussion on the management of medical dietary needs? All right, roll call, please, or no roll call, sorry. Voice vote, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. 9.5, Boston roof bids. As Lori had said, Odine came in at $96,982. They've done some work for us in the past.
Yes,
so
they,
they're
previously, the last roof project they did for us was at Apollo on the far north end for the 5th grade classrooms.
Now, is this our,
This
our-
is-
and is where our grant?
Yes, this is the school maintenance grant that pays for half of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's some architectural costs associated with
okay.
this
So
that
we'll be-
pushes it over $100,000.
Yeah. Usually it's a $50,000, but we have to match it.
Yeah,
Just wanted to make sure we weren't gonna lose out. We probably can't create another
no,
project.
no, you send the money back if you don't use it all. So, we did receive 3 bids for that. We had a bid opening at the district office last week.
Anybody have any questions about the documents? entertain a motion to approve Odine as the roofing contractor.
I'm going to approve that.
Yates
Six.
makes the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Frick seconds. Roll call, please.
Munson,
Yes.
Nelson. Yes. Smock,
Yes.
Frick,
Yes.
Yates,
Yes.
Palmer,
Yes.
Lower.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0. All right, administrative reports. Boston, anything to add, or?
We have our I'm gonna stand up because I'm short and I can't see over Becky and the podium, sorry. We have our last Eagle of the Month assembly on May 15th. If any of you haven't had a chance to come to any of those are really fun. You can see me almost 7 months pregnant riding my scooter. It's a good time. That'll be at 2 o'clock on the 15th if you'd like to join. We're gonna do 2 skills in one because we're gonna combine our like April and May skills. So it'll be self-control and ambition. So that's what our students will be receiving awards for. Other than that, we're just wrapping up the end of the year.
What's the timing of that?
2 o'clock,
O'clock. And the date again was?
May 15th.
All right, thank you. Apollo.
Yeah, following that up, if anybody would like to volunteer for the Pie in the Face festivities on Friday. Jason's in your hand.
We're all looking.
I wasn't raising my hand, but I was gonna ask what
We were
time.
gonna ask what time, about 2, as long as there's no rain. But we've got a nice little assembly on Friday for that. We have a staff kickball game. Could be some mud wrestling if it rains. But I mean, it's a crazy busy time of the year. So we have our Kindness Club doing a whole lot of things, and she just got a merch site going. That's what she tells me. What's a merch site? I'm like, okay, thanks, Aubrey. There's that going for our Kindness Club, which is so cool, all the things they're doing. We had our 2 students, our 2 5th graders recognized, Bella Schroeder and Court Hoffman, at the Blackhawk Region Principal Leadership Award, which was really nice. Their parents took them. It's a nice breakfast. All our field trips are all set and ready to go. People are just going, cranking up everywhere. The Quad City Symphony's been down twice in the last couple of months. Kristen Reed gets that organized, and she and Hannah Baker on Friday, or Tuesday, it's not Friday, on Tuesday, we had our Fine Arts Night, which is super fun. There's tons of artwork all over the walls, and there's a crazy ton of activities with all of the music that Kristen has going on. They have little performances, and then we have lots of volunteers and community support that come in. So it's a lot of parents, a lot of communities, so it's really nice to see everybody about this time of year. Our Easter Hat Parade, super fun. Junior Achievement is still coming for kindergarten, and the Ag in the Classroom still comes, and the 2nd grade starting to incubate their chicken eggs, and we all cross our fingers. Let's see, and then we have our field day coming up at the end of May, which is always a big hit at the end of the year. So lots of things to wrap up, and IAR testing is over.
Not yet, so that's science.
The science is next week, but science.
Well, good.
That's just the 5th grade.
Good. Thank you.
It's the most.
Becky, anything for the early learning center?
Our flyers for preschool screening are officially out, so I brought some extras if anybody wanted to take to their business. But we do have some out in the community too. We do have, I had an error on my report. We have 20 students returning to our preschool program, so 8 of those are New Boston, 12 are Apollo, and then we're sending 20 kindergartners from our program to Apollo and 20 to New Boston because we had to move out. So. And then we're just kind of waiting for how many we can have in a room because the early childhood is leaving ISDE and moving to its own state agency. So we're just kind of waiting for guidance on some of those things. So we could have anywhere from 25 to maybe 40 spots available for next year.
Junior high.
Just the main topics, everybody else is hitting. IAR is officially done for us. We finished our last makeup yesterday, and we do have science done, so I'm super pumped. It's award season. We start with the IPA, and I wanted to highlight Kellen Wood and Grace Lindberry for our representatives for our 8th grade going up to Vibrant Arena. It's a cool event. A lot more award stuff coming out beyond next month's report. We close out the year. All field trips are set. I don't know. It's really scary with junior high. We'll see what happens.
Perfect, thank you. High school.
All right, so pre-ACT and ACT, past two Wednesdays went very well from our point of view. We're very limited, just resetting Chromebooks because they hadn't been reset for a while. Then prom is April 25th up there at the Vibrant Center conference room. Very much, I think it's the same room that we just had the breakfast in. 8 to 11, you guys are welcome to chaperone if you want to. 11 is kind of past our bedtime. Yeah, so there's that. I love the fact that you guys, we do the post-prom there at the Y, 11:30 to 12:15. So if you can't make it up to Vibrant, then maybe you can make it there to the YMCA. Seniors last day is still May 12th. Seniors walk is May 13th, usually in the morning. We haven't really discussed the time yet, but I would guess 9-ish, 9:30ish from there. And then graduation, of course, is May 17th from PM. So that's about it for us. Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes.
Mr. Sizer. This is your first prom for us?
Oh, no. Well, for
us?
here, yes.
Have you guys worked on anything relating to kids from out of town?
Oh, it's all changed.
It's all changed?
Yeah, we changed it
Thank
last
God.
year.
She's all over that. Yeah.
I forgot about it until it came up, and I'm like, can we please not have
No.
me going to
Homecoming
high
went-
school on
homecoming
Saturday
went
night,
smoothly.
digging through lockers? So,
Yep.
not myself taking students in to find this paperwork.
Yes.
One thing that was in your report that I wanted to highlight was the award winners for the Quad City Art Club exhibition. How do we get the movie? Like, cause weren't there 2 people that submitted films?
Yes. We can share that with you. They shared it with us. Well, they didn't share the newest one. But we can talk to Ms. G.
I mean, even if it's next week, I don't
Yep.
know how long it is, but if
It's
it's
like, what is it, like 5 minutes?
Less than 5 minutes, around 5 minutes. It's
Colton he was part of it. Come out here, Colton. I see you back there laughing.
Yeah.
Speak. Sir?
Yeah, we made a horror movie. It was like 5 minutes long. Great movie. I had a lot of fun.
5 guys, 5 minutes long, was it?
Yep.
I think there were like 7
and
people.
the kids actually laughed more than were scared, I think.
Yeah.
So it's
That's true.
enough.
I mean, the artwork I got to see on Facebook, but I was like, where's the video? I want to see
Right.
the movie. So
No, can you talk to Ms. G? And
Yeah.
have them, have
Yeah,
her
we were
send
gonna
it?
put it somewhere, probably YouTube at some
Okay.
point.
So,
But
I
if we can
mean,
send
we
it
can
to the
always
board,
throw it up
that'd be
here.
awesome.
Yep.
Just watch it
Yep.
next month for the
Yeah.
after Tim does his AD presentation.
Right. We were supposed to be this week. or
Maybe
supposed to
the
be-
AD presentation after the board.
He gets scared.
Even more excitement is we
Maybe
were
the high
supposed to
school
do.
YouTube channel would be a good
We were
one.
supposed to do the FFA presentation this month, but because of things going on and them actually being someplace today and tomorrow, we are doing that next month with their annual, what they usually do every May. So
Was there Lily Clayton? She do a film as well?
I believe so.
that was like a short little.
She got second or third.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'd like to see it.
Yep.
Yep.
Cool. No, that's awesome.
Overall,
We had great representation.
We did. I went to the awards night and it was really great.
Yeah.
Just to see the kids get called out and see their eyes light up when they got first, second, third,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
The red carpet walk.
They won, yes, and they won money and, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it was awesome.
Thank you. All right, I think that's it for administrative reports. Next up is closed session. We just have a couple of personnel matters to touch on. Nothing, shouldn't take too long. So I would entertain a motion to go into closed session. Yates.
Second.
Frick seconds. Roll call 7:15.
Yeah, truly, that flounder was honestly a true